Uh, bro, bro,
Bro,
bro. Was there
can
not some amazing things that happened? What 2 days ago?
dude, we have an opportunity to talk about something that just happened in the world of the paranormal.
And I honestly, as much as a believer I am,
Mhm.
I don't know where I stand on this one.
I'm kind of confused too, because I mean, at first I was like, so this guy, Jaime Maussan, um,
Mhm.
who is known for producing these hoaxes and stuff. He's a guy that also has claimed to have seen the Lady of Guadalupe.
Yes.
So they're basically certifying him as batshit crazy. But he claims that two mummified corpses of aliens, of extraterrestrials, were found in 2017,
Yeah. Yeah, and they had a
and he
huge,
just releases them here on Wednesday, like just a few days ago.
huge presser in down in Mexico. Uh, we got a picture of one up here.
Yeah.
There's actually two side by side.
Pray.
I don't know what to think about this. Do I want to believe that they unveiled two alien bodies? The problem with this, I think,
He
is
told me.
there's been so many hoaxes out there with alien autopsies and things like that that you can find on the web. Shoot, all the way going back to like 1980s when they put that on the news with an alien
Yeah.
autopsy. I remember that as a kid. So I mean, this is huge news, though. I mean, like if this is they found them what in Peru
Yes. They found him in Peru in
and
2017. And it just, yeah, it seems kind of, well, I mean, I guess it's okay to release it now because we finally started to release the government documentation that
yeah,
aliens exist.
yeah, the world has come together and saying, yeah, aliens do exist. They
Yeah.
for
They
some
waited
reason
till we were
released.
on lockdown to tell us, but
Yeah, yeah,
we're all like, well, duh. So
yeah.
um
It's not news.
it's not news, people can't run. It's like you can't
Yeah,
run because you're on lockdown. So we're
yeah,
just gonna tell
It's
you
here.
it's here. Um so
yeah.
So yeah, you got, they actually talked about this, you were talking about how NASA had a meeting because they do their UAP
Yeah.
meeting, and they're like, they had to bring this up. Like, dude, this guy just presents these two mummified
It was like
ETs.
out of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, we're gonna hold this press conference about this special thing that we got," and
Yeah.
bam, here's two freaking alien corpses in these kid caskets,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What the hell?" I've been looking into this for the last 2 days, including today, bro.
Yeah.
Uh, because I follow quite a few conspiracy theorists and UFO theorists and things like that. And they're like, they're on it. They're on it. Dude,
Yeah.
they're saying fucking nothing.
Yeah.
They're saying nothing, which I found s- a little alarming that
Yeah.
they don't have an opinion on this. I'm like, how are you not talking about this yet? But
Right. So
I
that seems weird to me.
right, yeah.
Um,
NASA's come out and be like, "Hey, let's if this is real, let's why put it out there like that? Why don't you just give it all to the science community throughout the world so they can run their tests and see what's going on?" But that's not
yeah.
happening.
No.
Bloody.
They're like, "Nope, this is ours. We're doing it ourselves." But this is a big thing for Mexico to go out there and do something like this,
To
bro.
drop this bomb like that. Yeah. So yeah, I read an article that the executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace, his name is Ryan Graves.
Ooh.
He was, sent by our government to investigate this and testify before Mexican Congress,
Yeah.
to which he described this as, and I quote, an unsubstantiated stunt.
Yes,
So he thinks this is bogus.
yeah, because I guess he was there for the presser, if I remember right.
Yes, he was there for the presser, and the government went, "Do you see this?" And he went, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you want to look into this?" Like, yeah. so, so yeah, so he went into this, and then he was like, he spoke before the Mexican Congress, and he goes, "No, this is bullshit." You got-
Yeah.
um, yeah. So
They
I'm going,
said they
okay,
ran
I don't know what.
DNA testing.
Yeah, I don't know. They're claiming that the corpses, which we talked about, were discovered in Peru, were between 700 and 1800 years old.
Yeah, that
That
goes
they
back.
did carbon dating on this.
Yeah, Mayans, Incans,
Yeah, like Nata.
Aztecs type.
Please listen.
We're trying. I'm listening. You go ahead and talk whenever you want.
I don't know. This is breaking news. We had to share it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
So it's really weird. So this was the thing. So Julieta Fierro, who is a researcher at the Institute of Astronomy at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, was among those to express doubt. She said, and I quote, "Many details about this make no sense." And then she goes into talking about Jaime Maussan. She says, Maussan has done many things. He says he has talked to the Virgin of Guadalupe, and he said, he told me extraterrestrials do not talk to me like they talk to him because I don't believe in them. So her basis is on the person who released it. This is basically like Vince McMahon starting the XFL.
Hey, yeah. I mean, it's hard. it is really hard to put a lot of stock in this, considering where it's come from. I'm not talking about Mexico. I'm
talking about the guy. Yeah, this guy
Maussan.
Jaime Maussan releasing this is like, yeah, because when Vince McMahon started the XFL, everybody was like, "Oh, it's got to be fake because it's Vince McMahon."
Yeah.
Even though it was actual real football, and they actually did some great stuff. I know I actually did some work with them when they first started.
I went to a
But
couple
because it had Vince McMahon's name on it, everybody said, no, it can't be real. So do you think that this is partly the case here, or do you think that this is suspect because of the guy?
I think it's suspect because of the guy. The guy has a little bit too much negativity on him. He's done this before, and not just once.
Yeah.
He's been found out each and every time. And if this is a hoax, he'll be found out again.
Yeah, he's been caught. Yeah.
I again, as much as I'm a huge believer in aliens and UFOs and people in the sky or even shit in the ocean, I'm gonna hold my opinion on whether I think those are real or not until more can be found out about it, more studies can be done on it. I'd rather have an educated opinion, and then instead of just forming an opinion on base of shock. So that is the big current event that happened this week. And me and David was just like, we have to talk about this.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how the next couple of weeks pan out.
Yeah, I'd really like to see if they share the or at least allow people to come in and study them, grab DNA tests and things like that, make sure it's a biological, not just some stone sitting in there.
Yeah.
So I would like to see, even though Mexico does say that they did DNA testing on it. So
yeah,
well, and I'm not trying to throw shade at the Mexican government, but what a way to get your name in the news.
Yeah. And it makes you, I don't know, it makes you wonder. I don't know.
And
I would think that maybe if it was truthful, it was more truthful, that I would, even if Jaime is totally behind this, I might put another person out in front
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that people don't throw shade at the
Please go.
person.
Absolutely.
And it's saying,
So-
please go. So,
All right.
yeah,
I think that's
so
our
I
cue.
think we're good. That's our cue. We're going to take off from Mexico and land in Japan
Japan.
for our work on Cryptids Part 10. And we're
Yeah.
going to talk about the Hibagon. So let's go ahead and roll the intro.
Keiko.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into Spirit Spirits Season 3, Episode 24, Cryptids Part 10. Boy, that's getting longer. The Hibagon. I am your host for ghosts and everything in between, John Watkins. And of course, your host with the most, Mr. David Lowe. And Dave's doing the Sapporo. I live in a mile square community, so I'm drinking Dos Equis. I could not find Japanese beer.
It's funny. I almost grabbed Mexican myself, but this is the Sapporo Private Reserve, which I haven't tried yet, and it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
But I'm going Japanese tonight, so I'm gonna be doing the Japanese beer.
Doing Mexican.
Want to say a big thank you to Jordan, who just threw up a like on Facebook. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Jordan. Rich came in, said, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, my brother? So, yeah, he just realized that we put the StreamYard link in the chat. So, you guys, if you join us on the show, the StreamYard link is in the chat. You are welcome to join us live.
Oh, absolutely. You're always
and jump in the discussion if you so desire.
If you don't mind putting your face out there for everybody to see it. I know some people aren't so shy. They don't have a problem coming in here. But if you're on the shy side, you can always post your comments. We see the comments. We share the comments. We answer the comments.
Yeah,
we are not afraid of discussion.
Nope.
We welcome all opinions. Whether or not we might agree with them or not, we welcome them, and we're willing to have a discussion on them.
Or not. not.
But yeah, best thing I can say if you are here, at least come in, say hi, let us know
what brought you here.
And if you liked what
Honey.
you listened to or heard or saw, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and share it with all your friends, man. Share it with all your friends, because we're just two goofy guys that like to drink and talk about the paranormal. And speaking
That's right.
We're talking about cryptids this week, and we're all the way in Japan. Well, from the safety of our own homes.
From the sanctity of our home, we're in Japan.
You will hear, because we are in another country, you will hear my ghost tube speaking in another language. And it's cool. It also has a translation factor there. So you'll hear that other language. You'll be speaking Japanese tonight, but it'll also translate it for you a couple seconds later. So you'll hear kind of a couple different things coming from my side. And of course, Dave has his ghost tube running. And so it's going to be interesting. see what comes through tonight. I'm hoping one thing really does come through tonight, but
Me too, but I'm actually more expecting that for next week. But
next week, yeah.
we're definitely talking about Japan, and we are going to talk about the forest because this is definitely a forest dwelling cryptid.
Absolutely.
And in the midst of us, because they're the Japanese, they have a whole bunch of spirits that they worship. Then they I guess some of them are disfigured. So to actually, we actually wanted to dive into a couple of seemingly flesh and blood cryptids.
Yeah.
So I think we got a good couple that we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about the Hibagon today. And then on our Scare Network TV, which if you guys are not a part of it, they're definitely doing some stuff. I don't think they're ready to go live yet on the new format.
Gotta be close.
I think we're still waiting, maybe another week or so. But when they're ready to go and we start giving them episodes, our show on the Ningen is going to air on Scare Network TV here in a couple weeks. So
yeah. Looking forward to talking about that tonight too.
I'm looking forward to talk about that one. There's some interesting stuff, bro. But this is interesting too, and
very interesting.
I'm not crying. Maybe not yet.
Right.
You're crying.
I'm not crying. You're
crying. You're crying. It's a contact lens. So
I'm a little.
What was your? What was your first impression when we decided we were going to talk about the Hibagon?
My first impression when we're deciding we're going
revolting.
to Japan. Not quite.
I guess it's revolting.
Not quite.
They stink on ice.
Was hell yeah, Japanese Squatch. Let's talk about it. This is gonna be freaking amazing. Because I know how talked about and everything for our Bigfoot here in the United States, and I was like, it's murdered. It's got to be big over there too. I mean, Japan is 73% forest and mountain. I mean, it's gonna be.
That's funny. Don't spoil my lore, bro. Don't give away all my stats, bro. I just recorded that.
So, but I'll stop there. I'll stop there because I don't want to get too far into it. Dave works hard.
Work hard for the money. I don't get paid. I work hard.
That's why I said Dave works hard.
I work hard.
Doing these lore and history videos. So I don't want to give too much away off the video or anything like that. So I'll you know what, Dave? Why don't we just let's roll the video and get so I don't spoil anything.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's roll the video. And then if you want to add something, you can axe it.
I'll axe it.
You'll axe it. All right. Here we go with the lore and history of the Hibagon. Check this out. It might be unbelievable to think there are cryptids in Japan. But when you understand the geography of Japan, around 73% of the country is forest and mountains. So plenty of space for a creature to roam and keep out of sight of people. This is the Hibagon. The Hibagon, or Hinagon, is a Japanese version of North America's Bigfoot, said to live on Mount Hiba in Hiroshima Prefecture. Not much is known about the Hibagon, but some say that it is a quiet beast that tends to run from animals rather than hunt them. Like all hominids, they have a unique stench that is said to smell like decomposing flesh. Hibagon are much smaller than their North American counterpart, being most commonly reported as around 5 feet tall and estimated as weighing around 180 pounds. Most recent sightings, however, place it at almost 6.5 feet tall. Unlike the Sasquatch, the Hibagon is often described as looking more like a gorilla or giant monkey. And although it is often seen moving bipedally, many reports tell of the creature moving about on all fours quite easily. Some eyewitnesses even claim the animal was hopping along, just like a monkey. Other notable differences are the Hibagon's apparent lack of fear of people and the absence of any sort of vocalization in any reports. The Hibagon are reported to be reddish-brown or black in color, sometimes reported as to having a patch of white fur on the chest or arms. It is said to be foul-smelling, with a face covered in bristles, a snub nose, and glaring, intelligent eyes. The face is sometimes said to be long and somewhat protruding, rather than flat like a human's. And the head is often reported as proportionately large and shaped somewhat like an inverted triangle. Hibagon is mostly known from a series of sightings lasting from 1970 to 1982. By October 1974, the Shobara town office had received 29 reports about the Hibagon appearing in the wild. After the surge of eyewitness accounts in 1974, sightings of the Hibagon dropped off almost completely until 1980. After 1982, sightings abruptly stopped, or at least there were no reliable reports of the creature after this time. Did the Hibagon suddenly go extinct, or move deeper into the forest to get away from humans? Perhaps we'll never know. But 50 years after the first sightings, the town of Shobara in Hiroshima Prefecture is still influenced by the creature. And we have been influenced to talk about it. Are the Hibagon a race of primates that went off the grid? Or just a case of mistaken identity?
So yeah, the Hibagon. I don't this one's a little tricky. Okay, so there's quite a few sightings from in between 1972 and 1982. Some good ones.
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. 1970 to 1982, boom. And in 1974 alone, 29 sightings.
Yeah. They had over 100 reports or sightings when they created the basically the government created a I don't know what you want to call it, people that look into the sightings. Uh, oh, what happened to our background?
That might have been my fault. I was trying to do something. I think I clicked it. So,
But over 100 reports or sightings once they opened that up. They were paying people for their reports.
they were paying 5,000 yen
5,000 yen. Well, hello to you.
per report, and which is awesome because the average wage per year was 14,000 yen.
Yeah.
So you got 3 sightings. You just made your year, buddy. But yeah, it was like they did it like inconvenience tax, where like, dude, thank you, Ceci. I appreciate that.
Oh, my love. Yay.
Spreading the love. I love it. That's awesome. But yeah, it was interesting how they, there's sightings upon sightings upon sightings. I mean, like just a shit ton. And total between 1970 and 1982, there were a total of over 200 sightings.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you vape?
Yes.
Okay. There is a cloud like right in front of you, just kind of sitting there.
I blew it out that way anyway. Oh, anyway. Okay.
Yeah, well, all right.
Yeah.
Debunked. So, but dude, and then after 1982, completely gone.
Yeah, I thought that was strange, and I don't know if I want to put that to where the Hibagon has died out.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm wondering, because that was a question I asked in the lore. Did they become extinct, or did they just like move deeper into the forest to where they couldn't be seen?
Watching you.
Because
And
there was a report where 4 armed gentlemen during a sighting went to go hunt for this thing.
Yeah.
Which, being that it is, I don't want to say it's a docile creature, but it's not necessarily scared of people, but it's
No,
not aggressive in nature at all.
no. I
And
think at most it might be territorial, because there's
the
the
report of the elementary children.
yeah, with the
What
kids,
do you
yeah, and how
mean?
they yeah, early 1970, when a group of elementary school students were picking wild mushrooms in the forest of Mount Heba, they came across an ape-like animal noisily crashing through the nearby brush. The creature became agitated by the presence of the children and started snapping branches, making excessive noise to intimidate the children to leave.
Yeah.
Which, of course, the children fled in terror, ran back to the teacher, and then they sent out a hunting party after this thing.
Yeah, and they did
Like
find
shit.
a lot of crushed undergrowth
Yeah.
and some branches that had been twisted off.
Mhm.
Which they say, the little kid's not gonna. They're too big of branches for a little kid to be twisting off and throwing on the ground. But I don't know. It seems like it might have a little territorial sense to it. Like
Dead.
maybe it wanted the mushrooms that these kids were finding.
It's like, them's my mushrooms.
This is my magic
You
mushrooms.
bitches need to go. But
I'm probably not
we're
having a
saying
party tonight.
Japanese, but yeah, it was really interesting. And one of the coolest things is the most recent sighting in 1982
Yeah.
was the tallest by far. This was like 6.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It was crazy because and it actually had a stone tool with it.
yeah, it had an axe, like a stone axe. Like they were evolving.
Yes. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty interesting. That what was weird though is that it grew. I mean, these things are
Yeah.
normally depicted 5 foot, 180 pounds. Here comes this
Granddaughter.
6.5 foot, 220.
Yeah, here comes this Shaquille O'Neal fucking Hibagon shows up.
I got next.
I dunk basketball. But and you're going, holy shit. And it's got a tool and it's friggin', but every account, just about every sighting that I saw were like, when they saw its eyes, it was like it seemed really intelligent.
Yeah, that was the big thing with it is,
Yeah.
When I was first reading about this, again, super excited when we decided that we're going to talk about the Hibagon. But when I started
Yeah.
reading about this, my spirits got a little busted. But
Your
the
spirits
big,
were a little dispirited.
yeah,
Me too. I was a little let
Your
down.
left.
I was a little down on it, but I love how the
Can you hear him?
intelligence
Yes.
that and that's something we've heard that a lot. Okay, that's a fly. I saw it. Physically saw it.
Debunked.
That the intelligence, and we've seen it in other creatures to where like you can look at an animal and see intelligence in it, right? Like
Yeah.
like when you go to the zoo and you see an orangutan, smart motherfucker.
You can tell it's working shit out.
You can tell it's like,
It's like,
if I stole his watch, I'm gonna go pull the pin out and unlock this door. There's certain animals that you can really see intelligence in, and I don't know if you've ever been up front with a bear or not.
yes.
I
Yes.
Um,
Many times.
And there is a bear in Japan that
Yes.
kind of looks like what they describe here.
Please go.
But when you're near a bear, I don't see intelligence in its eyes.
No, I see instinct. I see pure
I see
animal.
pure animal instinct. I might eat you. I might just beat the shit out of you and wish you were dead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you walk with a limp forever type of eyes.
Disagree.
Ghost Tube disagrees with that statement.
Japanese Ghost Tube disagrees.
Like, I've even seen bears in the circus, and even though they're performing tricks, you don't see intelligence behind those eyes. So for all these reports that are being depicted, they all say the same thing. There's intelligence behind those eyes.
Yeah.
I think there's something there, to say that's, and with it not being seen since 1982, I think it realized, possibly, this is just a theory of mine, that it did realize that, hey, we ain't out here doing shit. These motherfuckers got guns with boomsticks and they want to hurt me and they're chasing me. We're just gonna go deep where they can't go.
Well,
I
yeah.
think that
And
is a
then when
big
they were,
You don't understand.
well, guess you don't understand, bro.
That's what
But and along those lines, they're having all these sightings, and then everybody and their dogs show up
yeah.
because they want that 5,000 yen, so they're showing up, and the population of Shiboda, which is the town in Hiroshima Prefecture that, like, the main
Yeah,
sightings
it
are.
used to be Shiba, now it's Shiroba. They
Yeah.
kind of combine into one town.
Exactly. And when their population went from 3,000 to like 10,000
Yeah.
in the matter of a year.
Yeah. And now it's
And
back down to like
now it's back
3,500.
down to like 3,500 or 2,500 or something like that. And incidentally, they're saying that the population of Japan will become endangered by the end of the next century.
Yeah. Yeah.
Human population.
Yeah.
Because they
Weak.
yeah, they made it, they restricted birth. So you had to like get special licenses and stuff to make babies because they were so overpopulated.
Yeah, dude, you have
Now,
people sleeping in fucking dressers, like, and renting them out.
yeah. But now there's more old people than there are younger people. The younger generation, there's not very many.
Yeah.
So they're expecting the population to go down from 126 million right now to 50 million by the end of this century.
Share.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna die off, bro.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But it makes it, I understand why they did that. They live on Japan's just a little fucking tiny
They're on
island.
an island. This thing is no bigger than Rhode Island, really.
Yeah, it's fucking Hawaii over there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Not even.
I mean,
It's one of the
Hawaii-
small islands.
yeah. So if you think about Japan, Hawaii's bigger than Japan.
Yes. Just the big
So-
island is
Yeah.
bigger than Japan.
Yeah, the big island is bigger than Japan. So put that in context for people in the states that they're listening or watching. The big island in Hawaii is bigger than Japan. There's more population in Hawaii than there is in Japan. Which is no,
there's less.
more population in Japan than in
Yeah.
Hawaii, but Hawaii
more.
is bigger.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, they're saying, basically this
So they-
square footage wise or acreage,
Sure.
sure. The size of Japan is about the same size as Rhode Island.
yeah, that's crazy, bro. And
And it's got
with
126
5 times the
million in it.
population.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And 73% of it is still forest and mountains.
Yes. Yeah, it's one of
So
the reasons
just-
why I want to go there, because like you got Kyoto, Tokyo, and stuff, like the big cities
Mhm.
that everybody's packed in, but there's so many of these little tiny villages out in these forest areas that's where I want to go to Japan.
Yeah.
That's where you learn about Japan.
Yeah. Well, they got
And
so many abandoned houses
yeah,
in Japan that they'll give them to you. They'll
yeah.
give it to you as long as you do the repairs on it and fix it up, which is really expensive. But if you fix the place, it's yours. They'll just give you the house.
I say, Dave, I know we're talking about Hibagon here and we're a little off subject, but I say we just move to Japan into one of the free houses. We'll fix it up. We can do some babble, learn the language,
Learn language.
you know, and we could do our show over there still. There's plenty of places to go freaking investigate. I'm saying,
Grandmother.
as long as we're making about 14,000 yen a month, I think we'll be okay. But no,
Yeah.
it's just crazy that I firmly think because of what was going on, yeah, I think it
Fireplace.
it pulled itself back. It's like, no,
Yeah.
there's
They're like, well, it's getting
do it.
crazy. We're just gonna. Yeah, I think they were smart enough to go, okay, we need to go off the grid. We need
Yeah,
to get out of here. So whether they come back like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I don't know.
yeah.
But um
Well, I think my favorite sighting was in '74, where a motorist is driving down the road and they see this thing walking on all fours. In fact, you actually have the picture in the history that he
yep,
took. Um,
yep, that's that
yeah.
picture.
So you got the two trees there, and then in between you kind of see a head and the arms kind of
It's warm.
right there.
Yeah,
But it's walking on all fours at first. And then
yeah,
as he gets closer, it stands up on two legs and runs.
yeah. And dips. And he was like, oh, it's probably a bear. And he starts
Yeah.
walking up to it, and the dude's like, "Foop, I don't think so."
And runs.
And took off. Yeah.
Um, and then of course he snaps that picture.
Yeah.
It is what it is, that picture. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably the best photographic evidence that's actually out there. I've seen others.
I
Um,
see you.
that one's okay. I'm not sure about it. I don't.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
I hear
And
you.
there's this one.
That one looks like a dude in a ghillie suit, so I'm not sure about
Could
that
be.
one.
Yeah, I got a close up on that. I've taken a face value. They're like, oh, Hibagon.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then there's this one.
And this is the crazy thing. Because it's so small, it's a lot easier to hoax, right?
Right, because it's 5 foot tall. So
You're not trying to get up
180 pounds. I could do that.
but to me, that looks more ape than squatchy or anything.
Well,
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, is they consider the Hibagon more ape-like than humanoid.
Yeah, they do. But
Well,
it also has been confused with the bear, the Japanese bear there,
I'm stuck.
with the white paws, even white markings on the chest, and
Yep.
it very much that depicts the Japanese bear, the Asian bear.
Right, and there's a large primate that's over there too, like a type of baboon or something.
Yeah,
That's
but
kind of a
it's only
gray color.
2 foot tall though. It's not
what?
very big. It's not very big. It's only
They,
like
they
28
think that
inches tall.
that could be part of the hoax. They also think it's some kind of wild man or something
Yeah.
that's in the woods, some kind of World War II veteran or something like that that's running around.
Swear to God, it said it possibly could be a deserter from the Japanese chefs. I had to read that. It was spelled CHEF. A deserter from the Japanese chefs.
So something. So Iron Chef, he gets eliminated. He goes into the woods.
I was all, what?
Fucking
That's
Morimoto with a stone axe or something.
I think they're talking about a deserter from a Japanese soldier, possibly.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious, and I had to share that. My favorite one, though, is an individual ravaged by the atomic radiation from the nuclear attacks in Hiroshima,
Right.
which is right here. This is where it happened. Hiroshima is right next door.
Yeah. Hiroshima and Nagasaki is even close. It's close by.
Yeah, well, yeah, Nagasaki's
were
right
like-
there too.
Yeah.
So, I think that's my favorite thing. I mean, how do you feel about the mutation of animals due to exposure to radioactivity?
I think it's possible. I don't know if it can happen to that extent.
I mean, I've seen some weird
But-
shit come out from
But some
fishing.
weird shit have come out of Chernobyl where you're
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Where
you
is
know,
it?
The three-headed snake and
Yeah. Friggin' yeah. Fish with two heads and
fish with human teeth. That was scary.
with human teeth. Yeah, that's crazy shit. So yeah, could this be a radioactive mutant from
それは不明です。
from World War II? Yeah.
It's unknown.
And why not have that intelligent?
Yeah, and I could
Part of the
see with
mutation.
something like that. And with the mutation, I could see the DNA being mutated along with it. And if it did have offspring, it would create pretty much the same thing. Everybody knows that. I don't know if there's probably a lot of people out there that have had their parents or even grandparents in the Vietnam War where people are exposed to Agent Orange. Both my brothers suffer from what my dad got when he got hit with it. It fucks you up. And it can create birth defects. So if you are fucked up and it changes your DNA due to the radioactive exposure, you could be breeding things like this.
Yeah, and extreme conditions can promote a sudden evolution in a species.
Imagine, being in 1943, 44 when we dropped the
I
bomb.
can't talk.
It was 44, 45 when they
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they drop the bomb, and imagine you get this burst of radioactive radiation and from the nuclear blast, and it does mess you up, and you turn into this I would say probably in their eyes grotesque thing. I don't find them very grotesque. It's just a squatch.
Yeah.
And then you give birth, and society's not going to accept your kids, so you just keep them out there in the forest with you. And
Yeah.
so they learn that, okay, as long as I don't get too close to humans, there won't be no problem. But then now these humans are trying to
あな
kill
た
them.
の前で
I can see that. I can
In
see
front
it.
of you.
we're just gonna dip. We're just gonna go further in where you can't get to us.
These younger ones going, holy shit, Grandpa was right. Which would explain why in 1982, 10 years down the road,
Bring
you
it
got
to
this
me.
teenager, Hibagon, that's 6.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
Going
With an axe, with a stone axe going, dude.
Sorry.
Shit. Maybe Grandpa was right. Dad was right. We need to get the fuck out of here. So I could see that happening. I could really see
Where are
that
you?
happening. I don't know how much stock I put into it, but I could that's it was my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Besides
we want.
just being the natural that it could be a gorilla, I still can't explain what the Sasquatch is. So there's so many theories behind what a squatch is. So
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
when
know.
you were talking about when we talked about the first incident with the elementary school kids and they went out hunting for it and they found all the busted branches and stuff like that. They actually found like branches and brush that seemed to have been twisted off by hand.
Yeah, and they didn't believe them. They
They're
were
like,
too
dude,
big
this
of
thing is
branches.
like, there's no way an elementary school kid could do this.
Yeah, they did find footprints in the snow, ranging from 21 centimeters to 30 centimeters. I think I wrote down here.
The largest set of tracks found measured 30 centimeters in length, which is about 10 inches.
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
when they found those bigger ones, they actually
Yeah.
went for 300 meters.
Yeah.
That trail went.
Yeah.
That's
significant. They followed these tracks for a while. This was in December of 1970 when they found that.
yeah, in the snow. Plaster casts were actually have been taken. And now this is when they've created the group that goes investigates everything.
Mhm.
They did take plaster casts of footprints at a construction site that they believe to be the Hibagon.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, in 1982, actually in 1985, they finally said the Hibagon's gone.
Yeah, they finally, July
3
of
years,
85, they were like, okay, it's over.
yeah, 3 years
あなただ
after
けです。
3 years
the
after the last sighting.
last sighting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, in 1972 was when the University of Kobe actually
Where is it?
conducted an investigation.
University of Kobe, that's it.
And that's where they did the tracks and stuff like that. And they are all like the footprints were inconclusive. They didn't find anything, any Hibagon or anything like that.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But then after 1974, nothing really happened until like 1980. And then there was another like rash of sightings between 80 and 82.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped. Because I think that last one was like, nope, we need to go.
Yeah, we gotta go. Pack up the kids, we're out of here.
Pack up the kids, pack up the family. We're gonna head up the hill.
I'm eternal.
Okay.
But I found it interesting in everything. I was reading the reports because I actually saw a report of a guy when he was a kid living there, and how people would literally walk up to him and ask him if they found any holes or anything because they were trying to find the den of this creature. And then there was actually a guy that was actually on the
I can't talk.
いえ、
investigative team that would, go get these reports and stuff. And being that it was a small town, he actually lived in this town. And being a small town, he knew quite a lot of these people that he was interviewing about their reports. And he said 90% of the people that he interviewed, they would rather die than lie about something.
Yeah.
So he didn't take them with a grain of salt. He took them with truth.
Yeah.
So I I found that very interesting, and that was actually from the guy that was actually doing the investigations in the town. I was like, "Oh, that's pretty awesome." But he did say, based off all the reports and everything that he's, all the witnesses that he's talked to and everything, the main thing that he took from it is that this creature was slow,
最近ではありま
harmless,
せん。
but very
Not
intelligent.
recently.
Not
So
recently.
yeah, this hasn't recently, not recently.
Not
But
recently.
yeah, slow, harmless, and very intelligent is what he got out of all those reports. I found that pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know what to think about this Hibagon. There's no attacks from this thing. There's no real big aggressive behaviors.
Candle.
There's some good.
Except for that first incident.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like an aggressive behavior, but more of a warning style behavior.
Well, no,
like,
it was an intimidation tactic. It
Yeah.
was, I can't say it was aggression, but I would say it was territorial.
Yes. Yeah. Um, but yeah, truck drivers seeing it walking across fields near a dam and then running
And
back across the
jump across
street
the road.
into yeah. The one in the rice field
Yeah.
where the guy was cutting his grass and everything. I mean, there's quite a few sightings that
mean,
I
yeah, that's-
really do like.
Yeah, that's just a fraction of them because with over 200 sightings
Yeah.
in 12 years, there
that's-
was like some crazy
That's a
stuff.
big-
And
big concentration there.
that's a lot of shit happening. And you have to think that there's more than one. So that made me think that there's like a whole race of these things.
Yeah, and that was another theory. Are they Aboriginal race in Japan?
Yeah.
So
Leaving.
I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good theories out there.
Flight.
Pretty good. It's pretty good, bro. I'm liking it, but yeah, I'm a little concerned that there haven't been any sightings, but I think it's more that they're smart, so they backed up
Yeah.
than they actually died off. because we talked about the Menehune, and
Yes.
and this brought a lot of similarities to the Menehune to me.
Yeah. But
Where
unlike the Menehune, these guys weren't counted in
What
the
do you
census.
want?
in the census or anything, but the Menehune, like, you know, maybe they died out, but I don't think that happened.
Possibly.
Possibly. I think it's more of a chance that the Hibagon didn't die out than there is the Menehune.
Yeah, they
I
just
think
went.
there might still be Menehune, but they're like,
And who knows? With all these small little villages out there
Mhm.
that still exist, these little farm communities, maybe they have seen them and they live
And they just
peacefully
don't
with
report it.
each other.
Yeah.
know?
Maybe they've got some kind of understanding
Yeah, that
where
they're-
they don't talk
report
about it.
them.
Yeah.
During, but it's interesting. This one was interesting.
Yeah.
You ready to score?
I'm ready to score.
I'm
I
stuck.
scored very low here.
I scored pretty low. I'm
This might be the lowest score I've ever given something.
okay. Well, I'm definitely not the lowest I've ever given.
This is
Because the lowest we've ever given was the Menehune, and that was 45.
And I'm below the Menehune. I went below the Menehune.
Okay, so I'm not. I'm above that. I thought I was disappointed.
I was very disappointed.
I was disappointed at my score, but now I feel a little bit better about myself because you scored even lower than I did.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, maybe. So the first thing we talk about is the size.
Yeah.
And the size of the creature is no bigger than a human being, even at its biggest. So yeah, I went straight 5.
Yeah, I was a 5 there.
Yeah. So that's real easy to do.
Yeah.
Now speed, I didn't get anything about it being slow. I did see it run off. I didn't think it was any faster than a human though.
No, I went human with it, with the speed, even though they did say slow,
They're here.
harmless, intelligent. I still went because it's able to run off from people. So I went with human speed and I put it at a 4.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
Now the evidence here, there's a big lack of.
Yeah,
I think
there are some there's nothing after 82.
Yeah,
and they've even gone on to say there's no video of this ever. Only still pictures.
Just still pictures.
Just still pictures.
And even the still pictures are very, very limited. I think you pulled up the 3.
Well, I pulled up 6, but what's real and what's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, so with a grain of salt either way. I can't we can't go, nope, that's fake. I'm not going to count it. If I see it, it counts as evidence. If I found pictures, that counts as evidence.
I'm outside.
So I went 4 with the evidence.
I went 3 with the evidence. That's where I was at. Could I move on that? Yeah. Well, you brought up a couple more pictures than I saw, so I could see a 4 there. I could see a 4 there.
Okay. All right. So let's go with aggression. This was tough. I wanted to give points to the fact that it's an intelligent creature. Because I think if threatened, I think it could be very aggressive. But it's never shown any aggression. It's shown. I went higher than I should have on the aggression here.
Go.
It hasn't even killed an animal. There's not even live
What is
being talked about.
It does not hunt animals. It doesn't kill livestock.
No. So I was at a 1 on the aggression level, bro.
Okay. No, I went higher than that, but I went way too high. I don't think it should be a 1 though.
I would be willing to bump it up to a 2 because the intimidation factor that it did with the school. But even then, I don't think that was aggressive. I mean, they're school children. It knew it didn't have to do a lot.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go 3. Well, I mean, it twisted the branches off. It showed strength. I think there could be aggression there if its home is threatened. And I think that's why it moved its territory back, because it was like, we don't want to fight. So let's go. And so yeah, I'm gonna go 3, so we'll go 2.5 on that.
What did you originally have it as?
I originally put a 6. And I honestly don't know why.
Oh, wow. Wow, bro. I don't know why a 6 came up to you.
I don't know why I had a 6 there. That's what's there. And I'm like, why did I put a 6 there? I don't know. Put a 6. But no, so after talking about it and reading, I'm like, no, 3. I'm like, I'm gonna go 3. Okay, so the lore on this.
I wasn't too heavy on lore. This thing came into fruition in 1970
Yep.
and died out in 1982.
Yeah, it hit like a Roman candle and then burned itself out in 12 years.
Yeah. I went a 4 here. That's where I was at.
Okay, I went 5, and the reason being is that the town of Shibota is still reeling about they're still intimidated by this thing. And they're still talking about it. They're not saying any sightings or anything like that, but they're still talking about it, which hints to the lore. They're still discussing it. It's still popular. It's still affecting that town.
Kevin.
So I went 5.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I like they're getting ready to do the 50-year anniversary for it. I like that. I like that. I can bring it up to a 5 here.
Okay. Sightings.
Quite a bit. You said you had 200 there. I was just going based off the 100 that I saw. A lot of reports. I mean, the evidence doesn't support the sightings, but there's a lot of reports out there. It could just be that people were getting paid for them or not. I'm not sure, but I went a 7 here is where I went on the sightings.
Okay.
I went
Yeah.
4
I
points
mean,
higher than what the evidence showed.
I went higher. I went 9 here because 200 supposed sightings in 12 years. That's significant, even though it completely died out after that. That's why I couldn't go 10, but 200 sightings in 12 years.
200 sightings in 12 years, and we've talked about this before. In fact, you've talked me down due to this before. The fact that it has died out.
It died out. But, but that in those cases, there were like 10 or 12 sightings. And then it dies out. This is 200 sightings, bro. This is like, it was all over this area.
Again, nothing since 1982. It's literally been 41, 41 years now since the last sighting.
Yeah.
And I have to give that credit in everything. So
like I said, that's why I'm not at a 10, but
that's kind of why I'm at a 7. It's
okay. So you're 7, I'm at a 9, so that puts it at an 8.
At an 8.
And you're getting a call.
Yeah. People that know I do my show are trying to call me. So not for the show. So audio here.
This is an interesting one because it's reportedly a silent, unlike the Sasquatch, which makes vocalizations all the time. This one's quiet as shit, and I think it speaks to its intelligence.
Yeah. It's dark.
As to why it's so quiet. I did give points to the intimidation, the noise, and the breaking, and that kind of shit.
I did not think about that when I scored this.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. They have to wait till the end of the show. But I went with a 1 on the audio. I probably should have won a 2 with the intimidation thing with the elementary kids, but that is literally the only report the only report of.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I was looking at like when the thing went down and did the dam and ran across the road, and the one that was going through the grass. Those are sounds. So I actually went 4, but yeah, if you're at a 2 and I'm at a 4, then it's a 3.
But even with the dam and running across the grass, they didn't depict it as being heard of large footsteps or anything like that, or even the one that
But
saw it.
it's got to be making a sound. We've got to give some kind of potential there for making a sound. If I'm walking in the grass, I'm making a sound. And this thing's not much bigger than me, or it's actually a little bit smaller than me, but weighing approximately the same. So I've got to give some, they make it a point that it's silent, but when it moves and stuff, it has to make noise. So I'd be willing to drop down to a 3. But because of the breaking of the brush and the twisting of the branches, and I mean, I know it's just one incident, but
It's
that should be
possible.
2 points by itself.
I'd be willing to go 3. I'd be willing to go 3. Thinking about that.
Okay. Now this was, physical and objects. Again, this was, the branches and the brush. There's no physical contact happening here. This thing hasn't hit
Contact.
it doesn't hit human beings. It doesn't throw shit at people. It did the brush and the objects, and then I gave points to the footprints that they found and the casts. So I went 4 for the physical here.
I was at 4 as well.
Okay. All right.
The emotional aspect.
Emotional, I was kind of high here.
I underscored it, honestly, after the discussion. Because I gave it the points with the 50-year anniversary, the people in the town. I didn't necessarily get a big fear factor here, but I forgot about the people trying to hunt it. I guess a little bit of fear with the elementary schools. I was only at a 5 on the emotional aspect, and I think I should be more at a 7.
Okay. I went 8 on this. And it was the fact that the town is still like emotionally charged about this creature. Not necessarily fear, but that the government paid people to get evidence. Whole bunch of people showed up during its heyday and was hunting the thing. Soon. The school kids running in fear. I had to give points to that. So, and then just the overall curiosity of the creature. So yeah, I went 8.
I can see that. I can see that. Excuse me. Holy cow. So we'll go 7.5.
7.5. All right. So danger. I went a little higher, I think, than I should, but I'm accounting to the fact that these things are really smart.
To your left.
I go based off of the reports, what's happened, the very little intimidation factor that it had. The fact that in all the reports, the big thing that he got out of them was slow, harmless, and then very intelligent. I went with a danger level of 2. I mean, even the people that are putting the reports out there are saying it's not dangerous. This is not a dangerous creature. I gave it that extra bump because of that intimidation factor that it did when the kids were hunting for the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see myself going really high here with the danger factor. Even the people that were reporting it weren't scared of it. They're like, "Oh, this thing's harmless."
Yeah, except for the kids. So the kids being scared of it and its obvious strength, I gave that 2 points, and then I gave 2 points for the intelligence. So I went originally 6, but I'm going to go 4.
Then we'd be at a 3.
Yep.
What's that total?
Well, that brings our total for the Hibagon to 46, making it 1 point higher than the Menehune.
Wow, did I really go up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had it at 36, but I might have not counted correctly at the beginning. Oh, yeah, because there's 1, 2
How
that
are
I
you?
on myself after the discussion. Yeah, 10-point difference. I originally scored it a 36, so we're 10 points higher than what I originally scored it. Where did you originally score it?
I originally scored it a 57.
Wow, but you had some really, really high ones there.
I did.
Like the aggression was, well, yeah,
I
don't
did.
even-
I gave it a high aggression. And I still don't know why I did it. I don't know if I read something that I didn't write down or something. But I can't remember it. So, but yeah, I don't know. But I overscored the danger level for sure. And I think I did that because I overscored the aggression. I think those two went hand in hand. There was something that made me think this thing was more dangerous than it is. Because it's not.
Beside you.
Beside me, on my left and beside me, yeah. Beside me is my beer, which is I'm drinking. So yeah, 46. I'm just gonna say it's probably not gonna make the tournament.
No, this is not a tournament. This is
It's not a tournament worthy cryptid. But see, this,
cryptid.
like I said, this reminded me a lot of the Menehune because I don't think it's aggressive. I think it's more of
Not likely.
a race, be it Aboriginal or whatever. I think it's more of a race of beings that moved deeper into the forest to get away from civilization.
So you went more Menehune. So you don't think this is an actual cryptid. You think this is a race of beings
Mhm.
that move.
I mean, I do think they're more ape-like and stuff like that, but I think it's a race of beings and not a cryptid where there's only like a few of them.
So not a cryptid.
I don't think it's cryptid. I don't think it's hoaxed. I think there's some things that are misidentified, like as bears or whatever. But I don't think it's a cryptid. I don't think it's a monster. I think they're intelligent.
Yeah, I don't
I
know. I don't think this is a cryptid.
Oh,
No.
I don't know. I don't necessarily want to say this is just folklore either, though.
No, I don't
Because
want
the
to. I don't want to
intelligence
call this a
factor-
myth. I think I think it's suspect that these things completely dropped off the face of the earth in 1982.
Yeah,
And it wasn't like they were actually hunting and killing them because they couldn't find them.
yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think these were smart bastards that got the hell out of Dodge. So yeah, I think they're flesh and blood, but I don't think they're cryptids.
Yeah. 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 I don't know what I want to classify this as.
If we can't, when we first started, this is the thing. When I first started talking about this, I'm like, great, an Asian Sasquatch is what everybody talks about. The Asian Bigfoot or the Japanese Bigfoot.
All for
and the more I read about it, the less I feel that they're like Bigfoot. I don't think they're like Bigfoot at all.
I don't think they are either. I don't think they are either. And I would love to categorize them with the Menehune, but the main thing I'm missing, like the Menehune was really easy because shit, they ended up on the census.
Yeah.
It was
No.
really easy to say that they're an Aboriginal tribe, of short
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Well,
They were the Lollipop Guild in freaking
yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to make that depiction here. That was weird. I just heard it's hard for me to make that depiction here because I don't have that to back it up with. So it's hard for me to decide whether I don't think it's a cryptid, but I
I
also
told
don't
you.
think it's folklore either. I think these things actually exist. I just don't think they're necessarily a monster.
Right. Well, and they're not just an animal because I think they're intelligent. They're capable of using tools. So they have that ability, just like the Menehune. So yeah, you got Bigfoot here, and you
Yeah.
got the Menehune here. I think these are closer to the Menehune,
Yeah.
but still more
Can you hear him?
primate like.
Yes.
Something just flew right by you. I think
That's
that was a bug.
that was a fly. I don't even know where it came from. Fucking rainy and cold outside.
Yeah. That's
Um,
probably why they came in. But yeah, I can't, for lack of a better place to classify it, I think it's an actual flesh and blood being. I don't think it, you know.
yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I think I'm still just as confused on this one than I was going.
I mean, yeah, originally I was like, "Bull, full on cryptid. This is totally like Sasquatch, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
But yeah, then I read it and I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think this is, I kept seeing similarities to the Menehune, and I was like, this seems more like the Menehune to me.
Yeah. No, I get it. I 100% get it. With the intelligent factor here, I think it might have just withdrew itself further from society. Um, who knows where it went? Uh,
Yeah,
Please go.
yeah.
please go.
I'm just gonna write not cryptid.
Not cryptid. Yeah, because we're like, is it
Myth or legend?
cryptid or is it folklore? And we're like, I don't think it's neither.
Yeah, it's not cryptid.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't put.
It's somewhere in between. But yeah, I think if I were to classify it, I'd classify it more as
As like my Nahune,
as like the Menehune, as like a race of beings, a race of intelligent beings capable of using tools that just happen to be closer to primates.
Speak.
I'm speaking.
I get it. Totally understand that. And I can't disagree with you there. I just don't know if I'm there.
Right.
All right.
Cool.
So
All right.
that
Good show,
was
bro.
the
That was
Hibagon.
Hibagon.
Hibagon. Hibagon.
Hibagon.
Or Hinagon. Hinagon.
Or Hinagon.
Hinagon.
Yeah.
I like it. I liked it. I like discussing it. And and guys, as a quick reminder, check out the internet, man. Check out the internet. There's some cool shit that we talked about at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Breaking world news right now with two I don't want to say mummified, but two corpses of alien corpses in Mexico. They just 2 days ago, so that was freaking amazing. I'm definitely gonna keep track of that. But before we head out of here, do have to thank Spotify for Podcasters. That is what allows you guys to hear our beautiful voices out there in your favorite places like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Pocket Pass, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course, Amazon Music. It's a great place to start your broadcast. It's a great place to continue on as you get your podcast going, and because they help you, man. They put everything out there for free, and as you gain your fan base, they start helping you with sponsorships. So check them out. They're pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, completely free as well. And of course, we want to thank StreamYard as well, what allows you guys to see our beautiful faces on your favorite places like the Facebook Spiritual Spirits,
Idiot.
the YouTube Spirits with John and Dave, or just at Spiritual Spirits, and of course Twitter Spirits for Spurt. So Thank you, StreamYard, for doing that for us. And of course, thank you to Scare Network, man. We love being part of the Scare Network family. We love doing the exclusives. In fact, when we're done here, we're going to be heading over there to do an exclusive for the Scare Network TV. They're in the midst of reformatting everything and making things brand new and better. So keep an eye out for them for the launch of their new stuff, because they're going to have some amazing stuff on there. Of course, we're going to have some amazing stuff on there. So subscribe to them as you can. If you want to get more information, they do put out stuff on their Facebook, their Instagram, their YouTube channel. So check them out. New things, better things coming from them. And again, thank you for letting us be part of the family. But I think next week we are staying in Japan. And I think we decided for the live, we're going to be talking about the round schoolhouse
Round
ruins.
Schoolhouse. Yeah.
So I am looking
That's
forward
gonna
to
be
next
amazing.
week
I can't
talking
wait to
about that
discuss
place. And of course, the exclusive for Scare Network for the locations will be the Suicide Forest. So that's going to be interesting to talk about too, because last time we got close to Suicide Forest, we had Yukio show up, and that was a very big moment for us during our live 2 years ago now. So looking
So yeah,
forward.
I'd love to see if Yukiko comes back. That was one, if not the most powerful moment we've had on the show.
Yeah,
think.
that was a
Um,
sad moment too.
It was, like I said, it was powerful. I didn't say it was happy. It was powerful. There
Made me
have been a
fall.
few to where it's been really impactful.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the show, it's impacted me.
Yeah.
And then that was certainly one of them.
Dude, I think about Yukiko all the time. All the
me
time.
too. Me too.
So I'm looking at, hopefully Yukiko makes an appearance and wants to talk with us again next week. That'd be amazing. But we are gonna say good night for tonight. Appreciate everybody listening and watching, and appreciate everybody that has already liked and subscribed to the channel. So hopefully new viewers and listeners find us just as funny and amazing as you guys do, and start liking and subscribe a little bit more.
Yep.
So we will see you next Friday on the 23rd. At
That'd be 22nd, I think. Yeah, 22nd.
22nd. There's only 7 days in a week, not 8.
Yes. Not 8.
Sometimes it feels like it's 8.
Sometimes it feels like it's 8. But yeah. So yeah, guys, we've moved pretty much permanently to Friday nights.
Yeah.
We tried Friday and Saturday. We found that Friday gets us the most traffic, so we're gonna stay on Friday nights.
Absolutely.
At 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So you guys check us out next week. We're going to be in Japan looking at the round schoolhouse ruins, and we'll keep on going on Friday nights for the foreseeable future. So thanks you guys for watching. Thanks you guys for checking us out on the replay. Please, if you haven't, like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and we will see you next time.
Absolutely. Roll the credits.
Credits.